The SBA is reporting massive fraud within the Economic Injury Loan EIDL program, causing complete backlog of the SBA and blocking many businesses from being able to receive their CARES Act business stimulus grants and loans. You and your business may have been victim of this fraud and you may not even know about it. What you need to know to protect yourself and so much more in today's video. Hello and welcome to Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, and volunteer paramedic. I'm recording today's video using my new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K on a Canon EFS 17-55mm lens. I really hope the focus and lighting have been improved. If you guys have any suggestions, why don't you make comments down below. Thanks, and now to the EIDL news. The Washington Post is reporting a surprising number of apartment dwellers in Chicago that are claiming to be farmers or ranchers as they scam their way to claiming $10,000 in free grants from the EIDL program. I don't know about you guys, but last time I was in Chicago, I did not see too many pig farms or cornfields along State Street or Dearborn Street. Yet, somehow thousands of Chicagoites are abusing the CARES Act. Now, this is not to pick on Chicago, because I'm sure this scam is being perpetrated in countless different cities across the nation. The Small Business Administration in recent weeks have been inundated with calls from people claiming to run odd businesses in very odd places, all attracted by the prospect of a quick $10,000 advance on the government loan. Suspicious requests from Chicago have grown so numerous that the SBA managers have recently alerted their frontline staff to be on the lookout for Windy City paperwork. A recent advisory also asked staffers to report applications containing one of several red flags, including those that had precisely 10 employees, the minimum to qualify for the $10,000 payment. Callers to the SBA's application hotline who struggle to answer basic questions about their business or are very laser focused on obtaining the grant rather than the actual loan are earmarked for extra scrutiny. Back on April 3rd, the Inspector General wrote that the SBA must reevaluate the current effectiveness of internal controls to avoid missteps that have plagued this system repeatedly in recent years. The report cited failures in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy back in 2012, such as staffing shortfalls, the agency approved loans without actually verifying the borrower's eligibility, or approved loans to borrowers who lacked basic creditworthiness or the ability to repay the payment. What a shock. So basically, the IG is saying that for the past 8 years, nobody bothered to fix any of the problems at the SBA. The fraud is so rampant within the EIDL program that many are finding themselves flagged or investigated. Jonathan Moore has some great coverage for it on his channel.
It's been saying that when these people have been questioned about their business, they can't even answer simple business questions. So if you went through this program, you know that it was actually a fairly simple process. You really didn't have to submit any documentation to prove your income and or to even prove that you were in business. Being that a lot of gig economy workers out there like Uber, Lyft drivers, and freelancers are known as independent contractors and or sole proprietors, finally there was a program that was opened up to them that normally wouldn't be. Throughout all that time, I've had people reaching out to me and they've been telling me that, they either have been scammed or somebody, they used somebody who scammed the system to get them the loan, and then they were getting a little bit nervous. And you know what? That's really unfortunate, because there are a lot of hardworking freelancers, business owners out here who are doing things legitimately and the right way, and they really do need this money.
I'm sure you're thinking, okay, well, I didn't commit fraud. Why do I care about all this? I didn't lie on my application. I agree. And if you didn't lie on your application, you're not a scammer, and you really don't have much to worry about the FBI raiding your house at 2 a.m. and hauling you off to jail. No, but there are a few things that you really do need to worry about. And the first is fraudsters are using up all the allocated money. At the moment, it's really hard to tell how much of the $70 billion allocated to the EIDL program as part of the CARES Act was taken up by some of these fraudsters. But we can guess it's probably a pretty high amount. And whatever the number is, 1 billion, 2 billion, 5 billion, who knows? Whatever the amount is, this is money that should have gone to legitimate businesses that applied for EIDL. Now, were you one of the ones that were denied the grant because the SBA ran out of funds? Well, the fraudsters helped contribute to this problem. Now, if I were you, I would make sure I submit an application appeal just to kind of keep yourself in line, just in case the SBA is able to reverse some of those fraud cases and apply those funds to legitimate businesses like yours. Now, of course, I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot say if you have any legal recourse against these scammers. Still, just common sense would say that you as an individual probably could never track down these scammers, and even if, hypothetically, you go all Sherlock Holmes, the chances of you collecting from these scammers is pretty much about as likely as Taylor Swift walking into the studio right now and begging for me to go out with her. While it could happen, it's really not very likely. Then the second reason why you should worry about this is criminals are using business EINs to apply. I have heard a lot of this from you guys where the SBA has declined your application because they said another application has already been submitted for your business. Now, of course, in some of these cases, the business owner submitted multiple applications thinking that this would help speed up the process. Putting that aside, there are many of these businesses that I am pretty sure had their business identities stolen. And this would very easily explain how and why your business was denied for an EIDL grant or loan due to having multiple applications on file. If a scammer submitted your information first, it's very possible that he has already received your money that was destined for you. Now, if the SBA has denied your loan because of multiple applications, I would highly recommend that you send an appeal in. You can check out my video on how to call the SBA and file a written appeal. The link is in the description and also in the card above. In your appeal, you must make it very clear that you have only submitted one application and include the date and time of your legitimate submission. Inform them in this letter that any other submissions under your business name is fraud and should be investigated. I think this side of the fraud is huge, and for some reason I've not seen a lot of people talking about it on YouTube, but I think it really applies to a lot of you guys. Sadly, this is nothing new. Scammers have been committing fraud by stealing business identities for years. The new EIDL program just gave them a new outlet to commit their fraud. Business identity theft happens when a criminal poses as the actual owner, officer, or even sometimes employees of a business to legally get cash, credit, loans, leaving the business victimized with these debts. Identity thieves can steal your business's identity and gain access to business bank accounts and credit cards by stealing sensitive information such as your tax identification number. The thieves then open up lines of credit and get business loans based upon your business's identity and creditworthiness. This is most likely happening to EIDL. Typically, these thieves will cash out very quick to kind of go unnoticed, leaving the business completely victimized and stuck with all of these debts. Once one of these schemes is uncovered, the business has to spend valuable time and resources to repair the harm done to their finances and their credit profile and reputation. Aubrey has great additional coverage on EIDL fraud on her channel.
Now, on the other hand, if you're somebody that lied on your application, you did not have a legitimate side hustle, you did not have a side gig, and you said you had X amount of employees when you really didn't, I would probably be concerned. I mean, at the end of the day, lying on this application is fraud, and it can come with a felony charge. And so if you're somebody who applied and you did not have a legitimate business to apply through, then I would be concerned if I was you.
Don't forget to check out Jonathan's channel as well, where he posts excellent content for creative freelancers and entrepreneurs. Make sure you tell him the Stephen Carlson Show sent you. What other channels do you guys watch and love? Who should I feature next? Why don't you comment down below and let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Doing so really helps the YouTube algorithm, and it's something I appreciate. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.